Welcome to the Fascia-Informed Therapist podcast, designed for health and wellness practitioners interested in fascia science. I'm Amy Mayer, occupational therapist, practice owner, author, and educator with more than 30 years of experience using fascia techniques across many settings. Each episode brings practical insights and thought-provoking conversations to help you expand your skills and better serve your clients. Let's get started. Hi, this is Amy, and this is another edition of the Fascia-Informed Therapist. And today we're talking about an article that I saw posted on Facebook on the anatomist from Ireland, John Sharkey's account. He's got a new article coming out this month in Clinical Anatomy. And the title of it kind of surprised me. The title is called Fascia is Not a System, a Critical Appraisal of Terminological Drift in Anatomical Literature. And yes, I am getting over a cold, so if I sound a little different, that is why. So the article itself, I can't get the full article because I could not access Wiley's site even to purchase the article because their purchase part of their site is down. So I really wanted to do this anyway because I did some other looking around and reading and thinking about this and just kind of wanted to get it out there. So basically, the last sentence of his abstract says, consistent with the nomenclature principles and classifications recognized by the International Federation of Associations of Anatomists and its terminological frameworks, fascia should not be described as a system. Which, as I said, kind of surprised me a little. And I did some thinking about, okay, when I got to spend time with him at the Fascia Research Conference in 2022, do I remember him referring to fascia as a system? And I can't say that I for sure do or don't. I don't remember him saying it is or it isn't. So I, dug up a couple of the books I have by him. I did not look for my notes from that. I'm not sure from the conference. I'm not sure where they are, but they're here somewhere. But I looked up, I have two books by him. One is a book on dry needling that I actually have not read yet, but I did a search. I have both books on as an ebook. So I did a search for the word system to see if that showed up in the dry needling book, and it did, but it nowhere in there said fascial system. Referred to lots of other systems, from widely recognized body systems to other like limbic system, which is a piece of a greater system, right? But then I looked up his more recent book and did a search, Understanding Fascia Tensegrity and Myofascial Trigger Points. And a search on systems he does not say anywhere fascial system, but he does say in his chapter, or the introduction actually, why this book is important for fascia-focused therapists. There's a little piece in here throughout these pages. Readers will uncover insights into the elaborate tensegrity-based architecture, revealing a harmonious interplay of unified systems and tubes within tubes. And Myers also describes the fascia as tubes within tubes. So he kind of refers to it as a system here, but it's very interesting when I think about what this is going to boil down to. I'll sort of give you the bottom line before I start, is that whether or not and how you use that word system depends on who you are and what your definition of a system is. And I went and I looked up online, okay, what is the definition of a system? And the first one that it gave me is a set of things working together as parts of a mechanism or an interconnecting network. Now that sounds, how we look at it from the perspective of the body. The second is a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done, an organized framework or method. And that to me feels more like a corporate definition of how I think about systems and procedures in the hospital system or the academic world that I've been a part of. Both of those, you have systems and how you get things done. Okay. And you can have a system of things that go together to help you get those things done too. Okay, so when I was doing a little looking around, I found another article that was published in 2025. And I know I've come across this before, but I've never taken the time to read through it. And it's called Fascia, like EH. What is it? What is it good for? And it kind of reminds me, that title reminds me of that old song, War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. But we know fascia is good for a lot of things. So the Fascia, what is it good for article is also in Clinical Anatomy. And written by many, many different authors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different, and most of them look like they're United States based. It looks like there's some from France as well. One from Canada that I see. There may be others too. I didn't read deep into that particular section. But this, written by anatomists, they are saying, from an anatomical perspective, we can't call fascia a system because we're essentially pulling parts from other existing systems to make a new system. And to me, when I first read that line, I was like, well, why not? If you discover something new and how things work differently, then why can't you do that? Why? But I understand. I sort of get how anatomists probably think differently from clinicians, right? They have their set of rules as to how things work, and they do say in here, I highlighted some different pieces in here, but if you are looking at it from a physiological perspective, then maybe it does fit. So they are saying that this can fit depending on how you're looking at it, but not to them. And I felt like it was important to bring this forward, even though I don't have John Sharkey's full article yet. I'll circle back when I do get it and do a follow-up if I feel like I need to. But my main point of sharing with this particular audience is because if you saw a headline like that, then you might have feelings about it, sort of like I had feelings about it. Like, what? Why can't we agree? Were we backtracking? What's going on? So I went back and I looked at the definitions that I included in my book. And the first definition that I include is the Fascia Research Society. And they use the word fascial system twice and say that this fascial system is the environment of all the body systems. So they are freely saying, and this is a group of not just anatomists, but more diverse background practitioners that form the Fascia Nomenclature Committee that basically created this particular definition of fascia. So people looking at it from very different lenses. And then I also included John Sharkey's description of fascia from one of his articles in 2023. And he does not use the word system in this particular description of fascia or definition of fascia, but it's very descriptive of all the functions that fascia provides in the body. And when I think of function, I think we have a I think about having a system of parts within our body that perform that function. And the other article, Fascia, What Is It Good For? They include a thought about us in their article. And I'm going to scroll down. It's kind of toward the end. So I highlighted that as well. It's a long article where they're talking about, in the article, they talk about all the different types of fascia that go with the nervous system, the fascia that goes with the muscular system, the fascia goes with the peritoneal part of the body, the subcutaneous or superficial fascia. So they're saying that all these pieces of fascia go with these other things. So why are we pulling them apart and making them into a whole new system? Again, I think if you find things that are like, and if you find that all these things are connected together, then why wouldn't they be a system? But I am not an anatomist, so maybe I'll pose this to Caitlin, because she definitely considers herself an anatomist in addition to being an OT. Okay, so here's the piece of the article that I wanted to share, and I'll just read it to you. In the past few years, interest in complementary alternative and integrative medicine has led to a broader meaning for the word fascia by practitioners in those fields. Fibrous body parts, organ parts, and tissue parts were all included as fascia within a fascial system. Despite similar wording of their definition of fascia to the definition in the Terminologia Anatomica, fascia researchers demonstrated the inadequacy of that definition by the inclusion of tendon, ligaments, dermis, adipose tissue, etc. The proposed fascial system is not consistent with the anatomical concepts and procedures. However, it might be acceptable to physiologists. So they're basically saying, okay, we get why you guys want to do this, but it doesn't work in how we do our work as anatomists. So I think I'm grasping this correctly, because like I said, this is a long article. I cannot wait to read John Sharkey's article when it comes up, but again, I just wanted to put this out there quick. I haven't done a podcast for a little bit because after the big move, or closing the 2 big locations and funneling down to one teeny tiny one, I took a vacation. And after my vacation, I caught this nasty cold. So apparently my body needed some downtime. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of insight in case you see that article, that headline. If you get a hold of it, or you see where there's an access to that article that's open access, I would love that rather than having to pay for it. I did try to go through Creighton University's library. I still have access to that library as granted as a faculty, or a clinician who takes students. But Wiley does not. Creighton and Wiley do not have a relationship, apparently. So anyway, okay. Well, I know this was a short one. Getting back in the swing. Thank you so much. I hope everybody will go check out, if you haven't got a copy of the book yet, please consider that. Go to my Fascia-Informed.com website, and that will take you to the other online courses that I have. And also, I've done the fall schedule for the in-person courses. If anybody's interested in coming to Omaha, there's some live courses available for clinicians as well. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a great day. You've been listening to the Fascia-Informed Therapist podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss new episodes. And if you'd like to go deeper, check out my continuing education courses, both online and in person. You can find them at Fascia-Informed.com. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to next time.